Hey. We are here. We're back. Facts over feelings, baby. We're here for the Thursday night tapping. We're here to get to it, man. Lock, cock, and ready to rock. Hopefully you guys are ready. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic day. Hopefully the weather wasn't too much of a doozy for you. It was crazy today, right? It was crazy. Torrential rains, trees getting knocked over in certain places in New York, right? Man, but Mother Nature's going to do what she's going to do. We just got to go along with her. She's temperamental, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But we here, I know you guys see the backdrop was a little different, right? I had to do a little adjustments due to some prior issues, but we're going to get to it nonetheless. We're not going to stop, baby. We're not going to stop. All the way to the top, All the way to the top. But before we get into everything, all right? We have to get into some house cleaning first. Please, if you guys don't mind, please like, share, and subscribe. Please do me the honors. Do me the honors. I'll be getting to it, man. We getting to it. Like, share, and subscribe. If you guys don't mind, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're on the road to 1K subs. No matter where we at, we getting it done. We getting to it. We getting to it, man. All right, we got a milestone that we got to reach, and we will get there nonetheless. Right, come hell or high water, we're gonna get there. Believe that. All right, but we're gonna make it do what it do. All right. See, I got a new adjustment also. Got a new lighter. Okay, got a new light out here. It's a little fancy bad boy. You know what I'm saying? A little upgrade, but it's all good. Yeah, the game. We got to touch on the game for a minute. I said the last upload, what did I say? It's going to go all the way, right? To game 7. All right. To everybody that was trying to come at your boy. Yeah, game 7 is going all the way through. Okay. And I called it. Okay. I called it for all those that try to crack jokes on your boy. Yeah. All right. Game 7. All right. It's going all the way, man. So nobody, the Pacers put a spanking, on OKC. They did what they had to do, man. I can't even be mad. It was fantastic, right? Fantastic. Okay. But, yeah, so like that game was official. Pardon the extra noise. Okay. Due to my current, surroundings. So I'm not too far from my actual block, but I had to just make a little, slight minor adjustments. All right. But yeah, OKC, man, they got to it, man. They got to it. What was the final score? 89 to 108. Kudos, to the Pacers. They got to it, right? In the beginning, it was looking a little shaky in the beginning. I was like, these guys are not trying to win. That was my first initial thought. But once they got to it, second quarter, man, they was making it do what it do, man. You know what I'm saying? They came through smacking everybody, as they should. If you want to win, you got to come through ready to wreck shop on all of your opponents. Right? We ain't here to do no LeBron handshakes. Okay? The other team is the other side. We don't rock with the other side for right now. Right? Now, after we win, we can be cool. Okay? We can be cool after we win. All right? But before that, I don't like you. That's how that should be the mentality of a winner. All right? But yeah, so it's going down to the wire, down to game 7. Nail biter clincher. Who's going to take it all? We don't know, but we shall see. We shall see. Right? Hopefully you guys had also a fantastic Juneteenth. Hopefully you guys know. You better know what Juneteenth is about. Right? You better know. Okay? We're forced to celebrate everybody else's holiday. Make sure you know about Juneteenth as well. If you don't know, you should be ashamed of yourself. But if you don't know, no problem. I got you. I'm gonna break it down a little bit here in the little historical, aspect of the actual holiday. Right? That's now it's a national holiday, but it was celebrated prior anyway. But fine, we'll go with it. All right, we'll go with it. Okay. But yeah, hold on. Let me do a quick toast though. Do a quick toast with my new lighter. My new lighter. Yeah, it's doing what it got to do, man. This is a bad boy. So this is a 3-burner. Major upgrade, man. Okay. Even lights it faster, right? But the cigar is lit. Oh yeah, the tea is hot. I ain't forget about that. All right, the tea is hot. Okay, but yeah, but Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day or Jubilee Day. All right, or Jubilee Day. You know, a brief synopsis of the actual holiday. Basically, what it is I'm sure you guys know about Emancipation Proclamation, right? And when it was actually signed via the 13th Amendment, which was January 1st, 1863, right? 63. That's when it was signed. That's when the official emancipation of the enslaved prisoners of war, right, took place. But because there was no social media, there was no television, or anything to kind of broadcast it out, there were a lot of people in the Confederate States that were still, a lot of enslaved people that were still on these plantations. They didn't know, right? They didn't know. So for 2 years, those slave owners, you know, was able to garner out 2 more years of free labor. All right, 2 more years of free labor. And it wasn't until the soldiers made their way to the last Confederate state and made all of the so-called black people know, right, that they're not free. That day was June 19th, 1865. So they actually got 2 more years out of it. 2 more years. All right. So that's the purpose. That's the purpose of Juneteenth. All right. I broke it down to you as simple as possible, right? Down to its lowest common denominator for everybody to get. All right. But if you don't know, you should know. You should want to know. All right. Especially if you are of the original hue. All right. So yeah, so they got 2 more years of free labor, but you guys should thank who? The Republicans. Because we have to set everybody free. All right. The original party of the original man as it relates to American politics, right, or USA politics. All right. The original party was the Republican Party. Okay. And they were for freeing everybody. Abraham Lincoln, he was a Republican. All right. He was a Republican. Okay. He sure wasn't a Democrat that was trying to go against legislation for civil rights. Right? Did you know about that? You probably didn't know about that, right? The Democrats wasn't with the civil rights legislation. And I don't want to get too historical of the matter, but just know that they wanted the free labor, right? And they ain't changed yet because they still want the free labor or labor wage or slave wages today via who? What? Who? Illegal immigrants. Okay. So they ain't changed. Right? They haven't changed one bit. Nonetheless, that's the point. That's the whole purpose of the holiday Juneteenth, also known as Emancipation Day and Jubilee Day. All right. That's the brief synopsis. Now make sure you tell everybody, tell your kids. All right. Get it right. And get your mind right too. Okay. These little bugs is on my light now. They're gonna start being attracted to these lights. These bugs, man. Anyway, so yeah, that's the purpose of Juneteenth, all right? So now to get down to the meat and the potatoes of tonight's upload, we got to get to it. The original man is back under attack again, as usual, right? Okay, he's back under attack again. By who you say? The usual suspects, right? They're out to get us as usual, okay? I got a homeboy, his name is Dave. Right, he's from the Bronx. Now he's in New Jersey right now, but he's from the Bronx originally. And you know, he had a famous saying, right? That train is never late. Okay, that train is never late. You got to make sure you're aware of your surroundings, even though we're in a nice, peaceful, posh area. Still got to be on point. All right, from Brooklyn. Okay, but what train I'm talking about? The train of going after the original man to make us be the image of sexual deviance. That train's never late. All right, so they haven't even gotten through with Diddy yet, and they're already going on who? Your boy Tyler Perry. It's Tyler Perry's turn. He's on the chopping block right now. Okay. Only difference is that there's a bit of a twist. The only twist is this is a white male saying this. It's not a woman. What that could mean, I don't know. All right, but that's the person that's alleging that he was attacked by Tyler Perry. So you know he's going after a suit. He wants some money, right? Again, that trend is never late. We know how that goes. All right. Tyler's not taking it lying down. Pause. Pause. Okay. What you know, he's fighting. As he should, he better. All right. Because you know how that goes. Once one person comes out, you're gonna see a whole flood of everybody alleging the same thing also. Why? Because everybody want a payday. I get it. It's not new, right? It's not new. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay. But as it relates to the allegations, I don't have the male's name, right? Hold on one second. Okay. But yeah, but he's suing for over 200 million. Over 200 million. That's what he's suing for, right? That's what he's going for. And as the allegation goes, back in 2019, he met up with Tyler in Atlanta, and you know, try to get his career popping. According to him, Tyler tried to approach him on some other tip. Pause. Okay. That was the allegation, but he turned him down. That's what he said. He turned him down, and Tyler gave him a role. Actually, gave him 2 roles after the turn down. Okay, that's the allegation, right? And after the second role, he became so disenchanted he had to leave the show. This is the allegation. This is all hearsay at this point. It's all hearsay, right? And now he's suing. Okay, let's not, forget about the fact. Forget about the fact that if that did take place, the original attempt, he could have left and walked away, forever, right? But he chose to go further with the person who he alleges tried to SA him, right? That's the allegation, okay? And not only did he choose to stay and politic and do business with the person that chose to SA him, but he signed on for 2 roles to the person that he said tried to SA him in 2019. Again, this is the allegation, okay? We already see where this is going, all right? We see where this is going already, okay? But that train is never late, okay? The easiest target is the original man. And this has been the play. This has been the play since the original showing of Birth of a Nation. Not the one with Nate, I think his name is Nate Parker, not that one. The original one that was shown on the White House lawn, right? And in that one, they had a villain and a antagonist. I'm sorry, they had a villain and a protagonist, right? A protagonist and an antagonist. And the protagonist was the who? The KKK. That was the hero in the movie. Okay, that was the inception and the introduction of the KKK, actually. All right. And the villain, the antagonist, right, was the alleged black man, of course it was a white man in blackface, right, whose only goal in life was to seek after and to get white women buns. That was his only goal in that movie, right? And according to them, that agenda hasn't changed as it relates to us. After all these years, that's all we're focused on, right? That's what they want you to believe. So that tactic is getting old. Even the caucus already seeing it. It's not new now, right? I mean, we got a whole list of everybody that went down to take down, right? Now, I don't know, what point people want to come at it with, right? People could say, oh, these people put themselves in a situation, right? That could be part of it. That could be true to some degree, right? As it relates to like somebody like Diddy, that could be part of it, right? He was doing the freak offs, okay? Doesn't mean that he was taking it and flying adult women across state lines for the purposes of only debauchery, all right? But nonetheless, even in that case, he still should have exercised discipline, right? But there's also a situation where even when you are not actively doing anything to make yourself a target, they can still make you a target, right? They can still try to make you a target. They tried it just recently with Jay-Z. They tried it also with Denzel, right? These aren't people who have a history of any debaucherous activity that we know of. Let's say that we know of, right? But they came after them also. So the play is obvious. The play is obvious. Even 50 Cent had to come out also with Tyler and say, yo, bro, this is a flim flam, bro. We see that this person sees that the getting is good, right? And he sees the play. Now he needs to watch out too, because he's also building up a reputable business, and his reputation precedes him. Following the trajectory, right? Using history as a guide, he might find himself on that chopping block, right? Now he's a different animal, right? He's from Southside Jamaica, Queens. He's a different type of beast, right? So like they might tread a bit lighter with somebody like him. They tried it with Jay, and Jay set things straight. He cut the short stuff short, right? And they had to get their minds right, and they got their minds right, okay? But right now it's Tyler's turn, okay? Tyler Perry. Now, let me say this also. I am no fan of Tyler Perry's content at all. I'm no fan of his content, but I can separate my disillusionment with his content with just plain right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a fan of his business acumen also, because, he handles his business. Okay? I got to give him that. I can't disregard that because I don't like his content. All right? I can separate the two. Okay? But right is right and wrong is wrong. Doesn't matter who you are. Period. All right? And this consistent play to go after the resources of the original man is getting old. Now, what are we going to do about it? Time will tell. What can we do about it? I'm sure there's a few things that we can lay out as far as plans that everybody must sign on to. All right. And you're going to have to know, bro, regardless of what you do, of how you may, try to prove that you are not like the rest, the fact still remains that you can possibly still be on the chopping block, right? You can be food for somebody else, right? And because that threat always exists, you're going to have to be able to move more circumspect. All right. So, we'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens. Right. But I don't believe these allegations. I don't believe the allegations with Diddy, but we know that situation was also a lie. So we see the play see the play. Okay, so the whole narrative also, this also kind of goes against the whole narrative about how black men need to do better, when in actuality, we stay on our square for the most part. The majority, you have a very small segment that's on some other tip, but the majority of us stay on our square, and we're always creating. Most of the businesses also in the small businesses in the black neighborhood are actually started and created by black men. That's a fact, though. You can look that one up. Okay, and it's always been the case, right? Most of the people that were lynched during the time of after the period of emancipation, most of the people that were lynched were also black business owners. Don't get it twisted. These weren't just random people, right? These weren't just random people. Okay, so that goes against the narrative also. Okay, you can go back also to Black Wall Street, right, when it was burnt down. You know, it was built up 25 years after slavery was over. 25 years, they built up a whole town, and it was burnt down to the ground because of allegations. They built it back up, but once it was built back up, then came desegregation, right, which wasn't about love. It was about business, but we can get into that part at a different time. But the whole point that I'm making right now is know and expect, as the original man, you're always going to be up under attack. Just know that. Go into every situation knowing that. You do that, you might have the odds be more in your favor, because you'll be able to maneuver better and plan and be more strategic. You feel me? So let's see what happens with Tyler. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what happens with Tyler. I'm sure nothing's going to come of it, but we'll see what happens. They're going to drag his name a little bit. That's going to be part of the whole play. Also to diminish his reputation, right? But more than likely, nothing will come of it, right? Because it's a money grab, it's a money play, right? It's a money play, okay? And I believe nothing will come of it, but we'll see what happens. I could be wrong. Stands to reason, I could be wrong too. That's a possibility, right? That possibility exists. But using history as a guide, I'm not. Trust me. Okay, but we're gonna tap back in. I'm not sure yet. Probably on the weekend. I'm not sure, but we'll see. All right. But let's see what happens also with the game 7 of OKC and Indiana Pacers. Let's see who's going to take it. The brawl for it all. Let's see what happens. All right. Peace to the fam. This is me live and direct on a new location, temporary location anyway, temporary. And peace to the fam, peace to everybody, peace to the gods of nerfs, peace to the original man, everybody. Appreciate y'all tapping in once again. I appreciate all of you. And before we head out, one more time, please, if you guys don't mind, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are on the road to 1K subs. That's the first and important milestone. It's only up from there. It's up and it's going to be stuck. Believe that. All right. But peace to the fam, peace to everybody. All right. And celebrate Juneteenth for the rest of the month. All right. No Pride month. Juneteenth month. All right. Peace to everybody. Peace.